Well, she's a multi-Grammy-nominated singer and songwriter known for hits like All You Gotta Do Is Say Yes.
Yes,
I don't do it justice,
yes.
but I had to sing. I've been singing it all day.
It's the groove.
Also, Hope She Cheats on You, another favorite, and her newest single, Without You.
Yes, she was once part of the group Floetry, but struck gold, actually platinum, as a solo artist. Here to talk about stepping out on her own, her sophomore album, and her current tour is songstress Marsha Ambrosius.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
You
Sorry what he just did to your song.
No, I was going to say, you sounded amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Not as good
So
as you
diplomatic.
did last night. You were amazing. You just kicked off your tour with Comet and Robert Glasper.
Yeah.
Now, you were amazing last night. How did this collabo come together with you all working together?
Well, we've known each other for years. With Robert Glasper and myself, him being a phenomenal Grammy Award-winning musician, and the first album was incredible. So we kind of decided to collaborate with this one. And Common and myself, we may as well be in a group. We may as well be, like, we have so many like features, even from the earlier Floetry stuff with Superstar. That was our first collaboration, and then with his album, I did the Light remix and a bunch of other things. So it just felt natural to be on stage together and do one giant jam session.
What is that
Kind of had
like
fun
on the road?
It's freeing because in the audience you're expecting good music, so everyone's really attentive. So you can kind of get away with, okay, I'm going to experiment and see what happens if I do this. And I was testing out new ad libs and like, what if I tell the crowd to go, hey, oh, and they do it. Everyone does what you say. It's awesome.
Well, that's the thing I was amazed with, and how fixated the audience was. They were like listening to every single word. At times they were like completely silent, just like looking like this. Other times they were cheering and yelling and screaming.
And that's the thing, I zone out so much, I'll close my eyes and I'll have to open my eyes like, is everyone still here? Like, it's just me in my absolute zone. But it was amazing time last night, Best Buy Theater.
How does it feel to have such a powerful voice that's used as a tool to command the audience so precisely like that?
It's nice that you should put it that way. I guess that's what I do. I don't realize in the moment that's what it is, but it's more like free therapy for me. I get to pour out my heart on stage, and it just feels freeing for me to be able to do that, but also help people out that, you know, sing as well as you do. I want to sing along with me. So, you know, it's like we're in this together. So I just get up there and give my all.
And that's one of the things, as a fan, that is one of the things that we love about you, is that you are so personal, you know, and you let us in with your music.
I have to. I feel like it's a one-on-one conversation, and it goes as playful from Hope She Cheats on You with a basketball player through and through to serious songs like Far Away, but it's still very much so my personality. So I want to give you the serious moments, but also say, you know, we can turn up and get ratchet, sophisticatedly, you know, rache, as I say.
I like that.
Yes.
Yes.
And everything sounds better with your accent.
Right.
Yes. So, you know, I try and give all of me when I'm on stage, so it gives no room for, am I being too bougie? Am I being too down to earth? No, this is me 24/7. I don't become Marsha Ambrosius because I've got a microphone and I'm sitting with you guys and it looks all professional. The person you get on stage is the person I am 24/7, so I kind of play with that.
Are all of your songs inspired by personal experiences that happened to you?
Absolutely.
Wow.
If not directly to myself, definitely immediately, you know, directly with me. So it's kind of, with Far Away, a friend of mine went through that situation and I had to sing about it, and I had to draw attention to something that people would have shied away from. But I believe, you know, as the artist I am, I'm in a position where, like you said, people are attentive and they want to hear what, you know, a real artist has to say. Not many artists can do that, you know. It's all about the glam and the makeup and the dance routines, and then before you know it, the message is lost. I've always been about the one-on-one conversation, like, hey girl, is everything is gonna, you okay? And it will feel more welcoming that way. And you know, even with the sexual songs, you have to, you know, have nice, lovely moments that inspire those moments.
Okay.
Now, you know, with Far Away was interesting. How were you able to get that on radio? Did you think that would be a challenge? How did you guys, you know, plan that?
I never think about that part. There's no plan to it. It's either you were willing to take a chance and believe in that or not. And the opposite would have been just a direct effect of what was going on in society. You either acknowledged it or you shunned it. And I think anyone who decided to turn away, it kind of reflected on who they were as people. I'm like, no, let's really come together and be human in this, whether you disagreed or agreed with it. I wanted to open the lines of communication on both ends.
Well, take us through the process when you write for other people, because you've done amazing hits for Michael Jackson, Alicia Keys, Justin Timberlake, just to name a few. What is that process like? Is it still your experience or is it theirs?
Well, I'm like a therapist when it comes to writing music for other people. I really want to feel where they are in their lives, because you know, I might come in the studio and I might want to turn up like, hey, we're happy, and they might have gone through the worst breakup in life, but I can feed off of that energy and say, well, do you know what, do you want to fix it or do you want to curse them out? So that's the approach to the song. It's like, okay, well, let's write something that fixes this or possibly introduces them to the possibility of getting them back. Or do you want to break up and leave them alone? There are so many ways you can write a love song. So I kind of get into people's minds. It just so happens that with Michael Jackson and Butterflies, I wrote that about a boy I had a crush on who worked at McDonald's.
Ooh.
Swept the floors.
High
What was that
inspiration.
like? Okay.
But I didn't know I was going to end up with Michael Jackson. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of those grand dreams that you'd have and it comes true. And you're like, oh, I had no idea this was going to happen. And this was about a boy that I had a crush on in McDonald's.
Wow.
Now, oh, please, go ahead.
Did he give you any advice when working with him, and how did it change your career trajectory after that?
And one thing that stuck out with me was that he said, you know, if this is the beginning of your career, imagine where you're going to go. And it really was very early in my career. I hadn't written a song to gain me any kind of access to what was Michael Jackson. That should have been the end of my career. But I just so happened to have been doing the work. So it really was, if this is your starting point, you can only go from right here. So it's been, oh, I work with Michael Jackson and everybody else. No shade.
Right. But it
whatsoever.
is Michael Jackson.
It's the moment where I realized that I'm one of very few people that you could be interviewing right now to even ask that question.
Right.
And that in itself is just absolutely humbling.
Wow. Now, you know, and that is so far. I mean, Michael Jackson was everything. Now, when you grew up in Liverpool, England, so that was like about as far as you could get from Michael. Did you always have a love for singing and songwriting?
Yes, from the beginning. Ever since I can remember, I don't know when I wasn't singing or playing an instrument, well, attempting to do it. My father was a bass player in a band called Supercharge in the 70s, big in Australia and all these other things. So I had access to instruments and I would sing harmonies to Weather Report and all this like complex
How does that go
musicianship.
exactly?
Give us some of that.
I have no clue how me
Weather
and Jaco
Report.
Pastorius and me being 2 years old trying to do a bass run, I don't know. But it just goes to show where I've come from that day and going forward. It was about me acknowledging real music. And I've just continued to do my thing and it's resulted in right now.
Yes, you have. And you brought real music to the U.S. in 2000 when Floetry came out with Floetic, amazing album. Now, we all know you guys broke up, but can we expect a reunion anytime soon?
Come on, girl.
Reunions are like, reunions sound like cruise ships that go out when you're like 60 plus.
That is true, like your Vegas show, right?
Yeah, like,
Not to the fans.
for me, well, to the fans, I was 22 when I did that. Like, it seems so, I'm 36 now. That's a lot of
looking
years.
good for 36, girl.
Well, for me, it felt like the earlier years in me breaking out as a producer, songwriter, singer, for me, it was lending what was all of those things encapsulate in this great movement that became Floetry with poetry adding to my music. So it just happened that those things worked together at the time. So now I've found pockets where it works in other areas, and that's how Michael Jackson happened, or me with Cry Me a River with Justin Timberlake, and then Busta Rhymes calls and said, do this hook, and I'm doing all of these different things, and I'm like, no, I'm a producer first and foremost, so when it works, it works. So for the fans, if you listen to the music, it's still very much so all me. But as far as reunions go, maybe when I'm 64.
Okay.
Well, in
So
the meantime.
I'll wait.
Yeah, just
is
hope
what
you
you're
can
saying.
wait.
Right.
Or y'all still
Three
cool? You guys still
glorious
friends?
albums. We haven't spoken in a while. Like we broke.
Really?
The breakup was 06. I think we spoke briefly in 07. But you know, I've always wished her well. She's doing her thing. I'm doing my thing.
Well, how was the transition, you know, going from a group to becoming a solo artist? That's a big leap.
For the both of us, we were very much solo artists in our own right. We just found something that worked together. So the transition was, I don't have to compromise my opinion, my time, or anything else on that level anymore. I can just go ahead and do me. And with that, anyone that's ever been in a group, did I hear the Jonas Brothers?
They broke up.
Yeah,
I was sad. But you know, it's if I don't get up for an interview in the morning, then I'm late. But when you're in a group, maybe one other member could show up, you know. So the responsibility therein lies on solely you. So here's me, possibly tired from last night's antics with the show, and then you're doing interviews, and you wake up the next day. So I have to do it, but I can bet on me, like the chips are on me. I'm putting all my money on me.
Oh, we're putting all our money on you too.
Okay.
And the fans are as well. One of our fans wrote in, Veronica Mason, and she wanted to know, you know, basically she's saying, right, you look fabulous, and since striking out solo, your image has changed a little bit because you lost a bunch of weight. What was your secret to your weight loss?
Image for me, when I came into this industry, I didn't realize how much of a prolific statement I was making not having to lose weight or not wearing my hair a certain style. I was out in my afro and a poncho, and I could have cared less. It was about the work, it was about the music, so it was never image driven. I guess when I lost weight, it's when people see you in the public eye, that's when they think they know who you are. Prior to me being in Floetry or doing my thing in the public eye, I was a basketball player. Every day I played for England. My father's a coach, my brother plays, and I didn't used to be that overweight. I got to America and I ate everything. Because I was so happy to be here. I was
understand.
like, yes, pizza, cheesesteaks, donuts, cronuts, like whatever I was on it. And
anything and everything.
Anything and everything. Like, we don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there.
Right.
So it's like an American holiday, but I adopted every family and took a plate from everyone's household.
That sounds
Who
familiar.
does that? Me, because mac and cheese, yams, collard greens.
Okay, you're making me hungry now. Come on, you gotta stop. Oh.
But you have to do it, and I did in excess, and I put on a lot of weight. For me, I just got back to my basketball playing days. I was like, okay, I didn't eat as much, or not as much as the unhealthy things, but I used to work out every day. So I was like, oh, maybe I just need to work out every day.
Was there ever pressure? You know, we hear so much about, you know, from artists about the pressures in the industry, from the record labels to the media to remain thin. Did you ever feel that?
No, if there was, I never noticed it. And it was like, I wrote for Michael Jackson.
That's all you need to know. Hello.
It sounds terrible, but in my mind, it's like I definitely had the one up on anyone ever telling me what to do. It's like, you do know that Mike saw me as overweight as it would have been considered, as natural headed as it would have been considered, and he could care less. So who are you to tell me?
I like that.
You know, but I've always been that. I've been comfortable in my skin since the very beginning. If I'm then appealing somewhat to more so other people because I've now lost weight, so be it. But I'm doing it for me. I'm getting older now. I have to work out. If I eat a cronut, I feel it go 5 pounds heavier. Immediately, 10 pounds heavier. And if I sit there any longer, it just gets bigger and bigger. So I work out and enjoy my life and eat what I want.
All that matters now is you're looking fierce and you sound fierce too. Like on the Best Man Holiday soundtrack, I just saw the movie in the premiere, and you did an amazing job with Anthony Hamilton. Now, what was that like, and can we see you in more acting roles in the future?
Acting roles, maybe, but I'm also behind the scenes person. I want to write movies, I want to direct, all that good stuff. Acting, I act a fool occasionally.
That's a good thing.
Yeah,
do that on stage.
I'm a professional at that.
Reality show, maybe? No?
But the Best Man Holiday, just to be within 5 feet of Morris Chestnut was just an absolute pleasure.
That's all you needed.
So yes, I was right there. It was awesome, and no, in all seriousness, it was an absolute amazing situation to be in. Like the whole cast coming back with Taye Diggs, Nia Long, Sanaa Lathan, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is Love and Basketball. This is Love Jones. This is every movie I've ever loved. This is the Best Man sequel, the Best Man Holiday, and I was just happy to be a part of it. And myself and Anthony Hamilton are in the movie, and we do our thing, and it's a very touching moment, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
Yes.
Well, from the big screen to the small screen, you also just did a music video with Neo, right?
Yes,
what was
for
that
the new single,
like?
for my first single for Friends and Lovers, the album, and it was moving. It's funny. I had a friend ask me what I was going to do for the first video for this time around, and they were like, you know, do you have to do something deep? Can't you just do like a sexy video? And I'm like, if I was going to do a sexy video, it would have been a straight to world star, all censored, like, because if you're going to do it, I have to really indulge and really do it. And I was like, I'm one of the very few that have a position to make a statement, so why wouldn't I? Even with late nights and early mornings, like the song is about getting it on, but responsibly. I was like, we're just out here. I'm out here making the music that makes you want to do it.
All right.
So why not do it responsibly?
Creating baby over here. All right.
And we appreciate you for it.
Now, before we go,
welcome.
you have to tell us about your new album, Friends and Lovers, and when we can expect it, as well as where else we can see you on tour.
You can pre-order the album over the Christmas holidays. It will be available out for the top of next year. Friends and Lovers is very, very sexy. It stems from late nights and early mornings that resulted in meeting some friends and some lovers.
Oh, Friends
So
and
yes, I
Lovers.
talk about them. There's a song on there featuring myself and Charlie Wilson, which is amazing. That's been one of my dreams to work with him. Myself and Jill Scott, as well as myself and Neo. I have a song on there, a Sade cover actually, and it's Stronger Than Pride. So yes, I can't wait. So
Can you sing us a little something from the album as we go to break?
Oh yeah, Without You.
Okay.
I'm looking in the mirror, I'm all in my feelings, you got me messed up out here without you, baby. Now you can call me crazy, I'm demented and I'm out of my head in this bed without you.
Praise and worship.
That girl can sing.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.
I think we just went
Is it
there.
getting hot in here?
Okay.
I think she was singing to me. I don't know about you. But okay. All right. Well, on that
you
note,
so much.
thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you
us.
for
And good
having
luck
me.
with the album, the
Thank
soundtrack, The Best Man. It
you.
was just released yesterday, and the tour. We'll
Yes.
see you on the road.
Thank you.
And you're watching
And on the
Arise
screen and everywhere.
Entertainment 360.